ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लाङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्। कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं खलु शायुतशक्तसुदीननरं सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदम्। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। भुजे सव्यवेणुं शिरसि शिखिपिच्छं कटितटे दुकूलां नेत्रान्ते सहचरकटाक्षं विदधते। सदा श्रीमद्वृन्दावनवसति लीला परिचयो जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे। वन्दे नन्दव्रजस्त्रीणां पादरेणुम् अभीक्ष्णशः यासां हरिकथोद्गीतं पुनाति भुवनत्रयम्। भक्त्या विहीन अपराधलक्षैक्षिप्ताश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयी त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नवृन्दे नुमस्ते चरणारविन्दम्। भूमोस्खलितपादानां भूमिरेव यवलम्बनं त्वय्यजात अपराधानां त्वमैव शरणं प्रभो। वागीशा यस्य वदने लक्ष्मीर्यस्या च वक्ष्यासि यस्यास्ते हृदये संवित्तं नृसिंहमहं भजे। श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यप्रभो नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैतगदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 11th chapter. Dhruva was mercilessly killing all the innocent yakshas. There were so many, innocent people. One of them was an offender for sure, means he has killed his brother. But still, Dhruva was killing everyone without any consideration. So, his grandfather, Manu, he has appeared in front of him and he started giving instruction to him. He said, "You see, why are you so much controlled by your anger? And thus, you are killing so many innocent people and offenseless people. By this you are only committing sinful activities and you are heading towards hellish planets. One of these persons has definitely killed your brother, but why are you enraged with everyone and you want to destroy the entire Yaksha dynasty? This is not good from your side. Everyone, all of us, we see the external body and consider the body to be ours and those persons in relation with this body to be ours. But person like you considering like this and killing everyone is just like an animalistic activity. Thinking that my body and my bodily relatives are mine, and therefore anyone harms my body or those who are in connection with my body, they are to be destroyed, they are to be killed. If you also think like this is not the sadhu's way of doing it. Sadhus, they don't commit harm to any living entity. And they follow Rishikesh. Rishikesh means those who are, he who is the controller or the master of all the sense organs. And the sadhus who are following such Rishikesha, they do not have such tendency to commit harm to any other living entities. So in this manner, Manu was giving instruction. We read till this point and we will read the purport to this verse now. I just told you the translation, but I will read the shloka. Now I will not repeat the translation, but I will just read the shloka and then directly go to the purport. Nayam margo hi sadhunam hrishikeshanuvartinam yadatmanam paragrihya pashuvad bhuta vaishasam. So, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, he is writing in the commentary, Bhaktaganer Vyavaharik Sneher Bashibhuta Hava Anuchit. Ar sei Sneha Vashato Parer Prati Hinsa Kora Je Anuchit Tahate Bhaktavya Ki. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is saying here that it is not good for the devotees, or it is not befitting for the devotees to come under the control of material affection. The affection in this material world with our family members, it is material. So here Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur is telling that for devotees it is not good or it is not befitting to be controlled or subdued by the affection of this material world, because it is very, very essential for all of us to understand those who have come on the path of Krishna Bhakti. No doubt we are all sadhakas, we are not perfectionists, we have not attained that supreme state, but at least all of us who have come on the path of this self-realization, we have to understand that this body is impermanent. This body is not a permanent object. Therefore, anything in connection with this body is also going to be impermanent. Isn't it? If my body itself is not permanent, how can the extension of the body be permanent? Or how can the relation of this body be permanent? We will read in Bhagavad Gita, you will read in Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, it is very nicely explained that Atma is eternal. And anything that is in connection with Atma, that is only eternal. And relations in connection with Atma are only eternal. Relations in connection with this body, which itself is impermanent, which itself is not permanent or temporary, how can the relation in connection with that be permanent? It cannot be so. Therefore, devotees, they are very intelligent, or they should be intelligent, sadhakas like us, we should spend our time for our actual selfishness. Our actual self is Atma. Our self is not this body. Therefore, we have to perform activity that will bring our true selfishness or our true well-being. That is the activity of Atma. And for that, you have to come in connection with those who are on the platform of Atma. Those who are on the platform of the body, those who think that the body is everything, yasyatma buddhi kunapetru tridhatuki, those who think that this body and these bodily connections are mine. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Janeshu abhigyeshu. Those persons are abhigya, unintelligent. Saeva gokhara, they are certainly asses. They are certainly donkeys, because donkey is the one, is a living entity where he does not know that he can get grass everywhere. He will work for that which is available freely, but he will not be able to understand due to his ignorance. So, similarly, those who think that the body and that which is in connection with the body to be permanent and to be mine, they are deluded. Here Manu is telling that for devotees, it is not appropriate to be living on this platform of material affection and love. Because we already heard previously that he or she who is our husband or wife or child, daughter or son or mother or father, whoever it may be, or brother or sister, all of these or every one of these, they are the connections of the body, they are not connections of the Atma. Yes, all are interrelated in the form of Atma, but we are seeing only on the platform of the body. We cannot say that everyone as our mother. We cannot see everyone as our father. We call our mother, our biological mother, and our biological father to be mother and father. But biological means what? Temporary. Eternal, we have to always be looking after the eternal thing. That is the devotee's expertness, their dexterity comes only here. Otherwise, if they also behave like material people with material affection, then it cannot be, he cannot be called as a devotee. So here, that is why he is telling that Bhaktagana, for the devotees, Dhruva particularly, he has attained Supreme Lord. He took darshan of Supreme Lord. He had conversed with the Supreme Lord. He got the blessing of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, Dhruva is an example for all the devotees. So Manu is reminding him of all these things, because people like us, Dhruva has done, therefore I can also do. So that is why Manu is giving instruction to him, no, you are not doing the right thing. You are a devotee, and for devotees it is not appropriate to be carried away by material love and affection. You are now carried away by affection towards your brother. But if you have affection, you should have affection towards the Vaishnavas, towards the devotees. Why? Because that is where our true well-being lies, not this bodily well-being. If we are in connection with the bodily persons or the persons who are in relation with the body, maybe my bodily necessities will get fulfilled, but my actual necessity, my Atma's necessity, which is my true self, I will not get any benefit. That is why here is telling that it is not befitting for a person like you. And what to speak of killing other persons because of your affection. Affection itself is wrong. For devotees, having affection itself is wrong. But on the extension of it, because of your extension towards your brother, you are killing others. It is completely, out of place. It is not at all befitting a person like you. Devotees do not behave like this. They don't act like this. That is why, particularly in the Hari Bhajan, it is said that you should not have so much love and affection towards anything, towards anybody. If you have this, then if anything happens to that person, you feel as if it has happened to you. Isn't it? If somebody is walking on the street, on the roads, and something happens to him, you will not be really hurt. Will you be? You will not be really hurt. Okay, someone was met with an accident and something happened. Okay, you just became aware of the news, and then you just are into your own world or activities. But the moment you know that accident has happened to your own brother or to your own sister or to your adopted brother, after coming to Gaudiya Math, we will have new mothers, new sisters, new brothers. We have left our own, mothers and fathers and sisters and brothers, and then now after coming to Math, we will make our own new brothers, new mothers, new sisters. What is the use of it? What is the purpose? You have left. If you want mother, if you want father, if you want that love, you should serve your parents. You should serve your brother. Why you want to make new brother, new sister? Now people are doing like this. It's very disturbing to know, but it is a fact. So if something happens to a person of my own relation, somebody met with an accident, I am not much affected. But if that person is actually my brother or sister or something else, then immediately my mind will get disturbed. Why? We shouldn't get disturbed. We will get disturbed because we feel our connection. And if we feel actual connection with every living entity, like I can give you example of Guru Maharaj. If anything happens to anyone, not his brother, mother, sister, he has left all those things. Anything happens to anyone, Guru Maharaj used to be very much disturbed. Guru Maharaj used to read newspaper. Every day in the morning, Guru Maharaj used to read newspaper. And certain times, actually most of the times, you see so many crimes, so many murders, so many innocent people are, falsely accused, abused. These things are going on in the society, and these things come always on the front paper. Isn't it? They always come on the first sheet because this is a very revolutionary news. Revolutionary means people want to read those things. People are so much addicted to reading such news, somehow that gives some pleasure to them. Some kind of pleasure to them. Someone is affected somewhere, someone is dying. It brings some kind of revolutionary thoughts in them. So that is why these news channels, newspaper people, they always put on the front page. So when Guru Maharaj used to read newspaper, on certain days when these horrifying pictures used to be there, they put so many horrifying pictures. Somebody killed, and then there is bloodshed, and hands are cut off and legs are cut off. These things they put on the paper. For us, okay, these things happen. Oh, here is my relative's photo. Oh, immediately you get affected. Someone else you don't really care, but you see your relative's photo there, immediately you are affected because you think that he or she belongs to you. Guru Maharaj, when he, particularly on these days, the Guru Maharaj Sevaks in those days, when I came into his service, Guru Maharaj stopped reading newspaper because before that, the Sevaks stopped giving newspaper to him. Because whenever he used to see this news, his entire day will be disturbed. He would simply repeat this: people have become so barbarian, they have become so fallen, that they are killing their own race. They don't have any mercy in them. They have no connection, but still they want to kill. An animal kills with some purpose. If you know some person, if he is enemy to you or something to you, you kill, there is some reason for it. But you are killing so many innocent people. So many innocent people are being killed, and those things are coming in the newspaper. So Guru Maharaj used to get disturbed the entire day. Not only that day, the consecutive day also. And then he would read the news, what happened to these persons, and he would become very, very disturbed. And he would ask for newspaper. Some days, sevaks would say that newspaper did not come today. Particularly on those days when there were these kind of horrifying pictures on the front page, they would say that today somehow newspaper did not come, or somebody else has taken, I will bring it to you. In this manner, they will give some excuse. They used to give. And certain days I heard from the previous sevak that when there were certain photos like ladies or men, they are crying in deep agony, and that is captured in the picture and then put on the newspaper. He said that we used to use black ink to completely cover that face, because the face gives the shrieking voice, how horrifying that person is. And then Guru Maharaj would see the picture and then say, why is it black? No, she is a Muslim, therefore that black veil is there. So in this manner, the sevaks would somehow tell Guru Maharaj and then keep him away from such kind of news, because any news like this, Guru Maharaj would get immediately disturbed. If they are in connection with us, we get disturbed, because such kind of killing innocent people, actually killing others is completely prohibited. Innocent people is furthermore degraded, and a devotee doing it is beyond any words to say. It should not be, devotees should not at all be involving himself in such kind of horrifying activities. So Manu is telling that the ordinary materialistic affection is not appropriate for the devotees. What to speak of killing others due to the connection with those material affections. यह बोलते चेन नायम इत्यादि, अर्थात भगवान ऋषिकेशेर अनुवर्ती साधु पुरुषेर इहा पथ नाय. So this is not the path followed by the sadhus. Sadhus don't follow this path. They don't like this. They don't want to kill anyone. They don't want to harm any living entity for that matter. We heard one time Narada, he saw a hunter. He was killing various animals. He was only killing half of them, half of their life, and then he would see while they're suffering for the life, he would see and then enjoy. Narada was walking by and he saw that a tortoise is half dead. Then he proceeded further, he saw a deer half dead. He proceeded further, he saw a rabbit half dead. Further proceeded, he saw forest boar half dead. In this manner, that person killed, the hunter killed those animals only to half, means to some degree, and then he used to make merry out of it. So Narada followed this path to find where the hunter is, and the hunter is rejoicing this activity of his. Then Narada says, what do you get out of this? He says, no, I get so much happiness doing all these things. When they struggle for life, I like it. We are like that, no? If others are struggling, very nice. It should happen to him. Because he is my enemy, because he has said something to me some time back, therefore I remember it, and Lord has given right punishment to him. He should be getting this. So in this manner, if others are struggling, paradukhe sukhi. If others are unhappy, I am happy. And parasukhe dukhi. This is even more degraded. If others are happy, I cannot be happy. One thing is, if others are, I am happy when others are unhappy. This is one. The next degree is, I am so unhappy if others are happy. So, this is our state. But Narada immediately said, you get a lot of sins out of it. Why do you do like this? You should give up all these things. Why, if I give up, who will give me food? What will I eat? No problem, I will provide you food. Don't worry. Narada supplied from the next day onwards. He supplied so much that he could not eat. He could not finish them. Eating himself and to his family members also he distributed, but he couldn't finish any one of them. And he distributed to others. Because he became a sadhu, everyone started giving to him. But he saw that it is his own Gurudev who is giving it to him. A sadhu does not see that it is because of my merit. Oh, I have become a sadhu. That is why devotees are giving pranami to me. That is why devotees are offering obeisances to me. That is why they are praising me. That is why they are honoring me. Because, yes, now I am a devotee. This is not sadhu's thing. Sadhu sees that everything, whatever is coming, is the Lord's mercy. So, he saw this as Narada sending all these things. So, after few days, Narada told his companion, Parvat Muni, I will show you a nice devotee today. Yes, let's go and see. So, when he came along with Narada, that hunter, now he became a devotee. He saw his Gurudev from a distant place. As soon as he saw his Gurudev, he started running towards his Guru. But on the path, he saw that there are so many ants. So he used his cloth to, make them aside. So that if he puts his feet on the ants, then the ants will die. So Parvat Muni was seeing all these things. Why is he taking such a long time to come here? What is he doing? Why is he sweeping with the cloth here and there? He comes, offers obeisances, and he says that, my dear Lord, on the way there are so many ants. I just put them in the side. Why? Because he is now not even wanting to kill an insignificant insect or an ant. Earlier he used to kill mercilessly so many animals. But now he does not want to harm even an insignificant creature. Why? Because this is the nature of a sadhu. If you perform Hari Bhajan, then automatically this kind of kindness will come. One of the 4 principles, regulative principles of Hari Bhajan is not to eat meat. Why? Why not to eat? Because mercy, dharma stands on 4 pillars. Satya, Shaucha, Daya. Satya, Shaucha, Daya, Khama. Satya means truth. Shaucha means purity. Daya means mercy. Not Kshama. Satya, Shaucha, Daya. Anyway, so this kindness, mercy is, if one slaughters the animals, kills the animals, then one will be deprived of mercy. Therefore, one of the regulative principles is that we should not eat meat. We should not eat non-vegetarian food. So, in this manner, here the jiva, the hunter, he is not even inflicting harm to a small insignificant creature, because this is the nature of a sadhu. Till we have not got this knowledge, we have committed, okay, still not okay, but at least now we have got this knowledge. But if we still commit harm, to inflict harm to others, then it will be even more dangerous. So sadhu, this is not the activity of a sadhu. Yad atmanam परागृह्य यही प्रत्यक्ष परिदृश्यमान देह के आत्मत्वेर अर्थात आमार यही देह यही रूप अभिमाने ग्रहण करतः शत्रुघ्न जेमन देह संबंध वशतः एके आवश्यक अपर के हत्या करे तद्रूप भूत वैशसन प्राणीगणेर प्रति जे हिंसा करा ताहा साधुगणेर कार्य नाहे. Here it is said that like a person kills another person, let's say a king declares war against another king, or he declares war against his enemy. What is the purpose? He wants to destroy his enemy. He has enmity with that person, or he is an enemy of my brother. Isn't it? Jarasandha, why did he take on the side of the Kauravas? Because Krishna is on the side of the Pandavas and he has enmity towards him. And also one of the sons of Jarasandha was killed. Therefore, now he will take the other side. He is my enemy. Why Karna has taken the side of Duryodhana? Because in that assembly, he was insulted by the Pandavas and Duryodhana took his side. Because they have insulted me and he has given his shelter to me, therefore I shall fight against the Pandavas. And in the Pandavas also, what is his name? Drishtadyumna, he came. Why? Because Dronacharya is standing on the other side. So if you see, these persons are fighting because their enemy is on the other side. Not only this from the Kurukshetra I have given example, but even otherwise also, even in the history if you read, one king is declaring war against another king because that king has become enemy of his brother or or wife or child or someone, and that is why he is declaring war. So people in general, they pick up fight with others because of their material affection and compassion. That is why for sadhus it is not appropriate. For sadhus to have material affection is not good, because his friend's enemy will become my enemy. Isn't it? Sadhu's friend's enemy becomes sadhu's enemy. That is why there is no friend to a sadhu. Sadhu's brother's friend becomes sadhu's friend. What is this? A sadhu should have friendship with everyone. A sadhu should not have enmity with any persons. But he will be forgetful of all these things if he carries the material relations and affections. Therefore, here Manu is telling that Amar ei deho ei rupa abhiman grahan karata. If I consider that this is my body and those who are in connection to be myself or mine, then Shatrughan Jemon, deha sambandha vashata eke aprake hatya kore, just like the enemy, one person kills another person out of enmity, in a similar way, if I also, make friends and enemies out of my bodily connections. But this is not the activity of a sadhu. Sadhu does not act in this manner. A sadhu is free from all these material relations. Sarva bhutatma bhavena bhutavasam haring bhavan aradhyapi time is up. Okay, I will read this verse tomorrow. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की जय। श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन वेदव्यास महामुनि की जय। जय परमारत्तम श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल।